Coming to you live from deep within a muddy but windy and also sometimes sunny radioactive meme land. We're the survivors of the alt-right cacopolis, the few, the brave, the bitchy, once more wading into battle against the froggy hordes with Rantzerker number 86. Winco's Women Woes. If you're listening to this after the live show and you want to hear the full stream, go to www.honeybadgerradio for our unabridged podcasts, or look up to the right of this video. There's a link to go directly to the unabridged version on Patreon, which will include the show notes, if there are show notes. Now, before we begin, the fundraiser to cover Brian's medical expenses and paid leave is still ongoing, so please go to www.feedthebadger.com and put some money towards that. So this video's been trending, and there's been a lot of outrage over it because of the handling by the loss prevention officers of this particular individual, who stole and then allegedly assaulted them afterwards. So
yeah, apparently, and for some context, they followed her out of the store. They asked her to come with them, and she then assaulted them. This is the story of and then after the assault took place and they tried to detain her using physical restraint, that's when people started recording. So.
Okay, but that's all alleged, although, in my personal opinion, the likelihood of a bunch of police officers throwing the book at a 90-pound, she blonde?
No idea. I didn't.
You can't really tell, but anyway, 90-pound white girl of the age of 14 to 15. The likelihood of them throwing the book, what the hell did she do to get second-degree robbery? Is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because as a woman, what would you have to do to get second-degree robbery? What did she attempt to saw off someone's leg? Like, what horrific thing did she do?
You guys, you're not wrong. Okay, I got you recording, honey. It's okay. I understand that, but you know what? Safeway can't even
stop
touch
it for a
her.
sec. I'm pretty sure that's a woman, Karen. She just said, "I'm with loss prevention," and that was not a man's voice.
Yeah, no, it does, like, because it's hard to tell with the way, like, with the clothes and everything and all of that, but yeah, no, I'm with loss prevention. That did really sound like a woman's voice.
Yeah,
so.
and I hate to gender her, just in case she doesn't identify as a woman, but I'm going to go with the culturally, the typical interpretation.
The hair is long and in a bun.
Yeah.
Under the brim of the hat there in the back, and so yeah, no, I can, and I'm okay with it. It's essentially the fact that because you would essentially want as a company, right, to have female loss prevention officers
for exactly this scenario.
For exactly this scenario in which somebody would have to be tackled to the ground, you would want it to, not seem untoward, and you would want to have a female do this, and it is the seemingly female loss prevention officer doing almost all of the objectionable or allegedly objectionable things in this video. And this girl doesn't look blonde. She looks actually a little bit ginger. Just saying.
Feisty.
That's a good point.
I think I just stereotyped gingers.
Yeah, feisty, hot-headed.
Shall we move on?
And
no, I wanted to just bring up some more stuff.
Sure.
This is a female loss prevention officer. She's doing actually a really good job of restraining this girl, especially since the girl is really like flopping around, making it difficult. And what's interesting is she's not actually at all, doesn't seem to be at all going for the throat or restraining her that way, which I would suggest to me that she's actually had some training with this, so she knows that she has to keep her airways unobstructed. And she's just doing her best, and she's being very restrained. From what I can see, knowing of what I know about grappling, this loss prevention officer, this woman, who is a loss prevention officer, because I want to emphasize that, because I noticed in the comments to this video, a lot of people are erasing this woman's gender, and I assume that she is a woman. I'm because, again, the long hair, the voice, the fact that she's wearing more masculine clothing just relates to the job she's trying to do. And she's, as far as I can tell, she's doing it well. And
yeah,
professionally.
Just staying really calm.
You fucking hurt her, dude! Hey, let her go!
Okay, can we just stop for a second?
Whoa, is that
Yeah,
Batman?
no, that's like a bystander interfering.
It sounds like Batman to me. He's like, where are the other drugs going? You're hurting her. Swear to me. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's a bystander intervening.
It's a white knight. Is what it is.
Yeah. Making things worse, incidentally.
Yeah. Oh no, because the more help that this girl feels that she has, or the more support she feels that she has from the crowd that's gathered, the more she's going to resist, and the more likely she is to hurt herself.
Hey! You're causing her fucking harm!
Come on, dude. This guy's driving me crazy. Hey!
Okay.
Stop it! Enough! Sorry.
The woman who's holding her has her underneath the armpits, and I don't even think she's just grabbing her underneath the armpits, maybe behind the neck. There's no harm that's going to be happening here, unless the girl actually.
The only harm is from the girl slamming herself down on the sidewalk, and that harm is actually being mitigated by this woman.
Yeah. Okay.
This dude was that voice in the background. He's puffing up like a motherfucker. All right, moving on.
Puffing.
He's puffing up. I mean, like that. You know, because I'm sure he doesn't walk around ordering lattes with that voice. You know, so. I want almond milk. God damn it. Moving on.
Say pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Pumpkin spice. Make it a venti, dude.
At this point, I would actually tell everybody who's watching this, if they let her go, she's not going to immediately calm down. She's most likely, about 90%, she's going to do significantly more damage to herself.
Oh yeah, she's gonna do something fucked up.
Or she's gonna escalate her hysteria too.
Like and then they're gonna actually be in real trouble because as officers they have a duty of care toward her.
Yeah. So in this situation, it would actually have been worse, more irresponsible to her if they had let her go, because she's in such a state that there's a high probability that she would do significant harm to herself.
She'd run away, trip over her own feet, and fucking brain herself on the sidewalk.
She would just face plant. She would throw herself down onto the sidewalk, or she would hit herself on something, or even there's a percentage chance that since they allege that she started this with a aggressive action towards them, with an assault towards them, that she would continue to assault them.
Wait, was that parking lot Batman again? Oh, I'm gonna go.
Yes,
back
it was. It was.
Fuck.
Yeah, no, he's hulking out. You wouldn't like to see me when I'm angry. I just.
Oh my god. Okay, let's. I want to hear it again.
Hey, sorry, dude. It's okay. Jack, it's okay, sweetie. I'm not trying to quit. See? You were causing your harm.
Oh, Jesus, did you hear that, Brian? I'm not trying to start shit. You were causing her harm.
You were causing her harm.
I keep expecting to hear out of this guy's mouth like, "Do you even lift, bro?"
I see him though. I see him. I see parking lot Batman. He is actually he's wearing a gray. I think it's a gray and white shirt on the sign. He's right there in the upper right corner.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's the one. You're causing her harm.
Once you put this on social media, you put the store in a position where it has to publicly defend its actions, right? And the cops and everybody, right, has to publicly defend its actions in such a way as to, so, I mean, like, it's entirely possible that if this had never made it onto social media, right, that this girl would have been quietly charged with shoplifting. But because now it's a big fucking thing, now the store is put in a position where it has to actually demonstrate that it was in the right, that it did nothing wrong, and part of that is upping the charges.
Well, the store didn't do it. The police did. And
Well,
I want to point out.
Police would have done it in response to, because here's the thing, right? Once things become, the police would have probably been like, okay, if the store had said, yeah, no, just charge her with shoplifting, the police would have probably gone along with that, because this is how these things happen, right? But because of all of the brouhaha, now this girl has to be made an example of, right? In order for the store to retain its reputation as having done nothing wrong. The whole thing is stupid too, because even if you're gonna say, right, that these loss prevention staff have no right to do this, right? Okay, so you film it, okay, you don't interfere, you film it, and then you contact her afterwards, and you say, I have a legal case. You have a legal case against this, right? Here's how you can sue, right? Because I cannot imagine that this woman behind this camera, if indeed she is a lawyer, is going to be thinking that they're trying to get this girl into some tiny windowless room somewhere to waterboard her, right? This girl is in no immediate danger.
The Wilco Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, the Winco Guantanamo, no. Okay, if there is an actual fucking case here, right, of this girl's rights being violated through wrongful actions of the loss prevention staff, okay, the thing to do, if you were a fucking lawyer, is to record it all quietly, right, and then go to the girl afterwards and say, you have a lawsuit, you know, that could get you a nice big settlement.
Yeah. But here's the thing is that she was calm, and then this woman riled her up again.
Yeah.
She was calming down, and this woman riled her up again. This woman is responsible for whatever harm this girl does to herself. Well, of course, the girl is responsible as well, but she's still a minor.
So if a five-year-old does that, would you do that to a 5-year-old?
So she's comparing this teenage girl to a 5-year-old now, because that's what women are to her.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't do that to a 5-year-old.
Because a 5-year-old you would be able to just pick up a 5-year-old and prevent them from slamming themselves on the fucking concrete, and you would be able to carry them kicking and screaming into a freaking safe place.
Yeah, this is not
right?
A 5-year-old.
Like any fucking person who has a 5-year-old who has ever thrown a tantrum in the store, you can literally pick that child up in a safe manner in such a way that they will not hurt themselves, and you will do it, right, to remove them from the situation.
I actually do feel sorry for this kid. The woman behind the camera is really pissing me off.
Well, she's a 14-year-old fucking girl or a 15-year-old girl, right? Okay, I don't necessarily feel sorry for her. I feel that she is not entirely 100%, responsible for everything that's happened here, right? Because if she didn't have all of these people egging her on, she would probably have, once they had her subdued, once they had her restrained, she would have probably felt like, okay, I'm fucking boned, I guess I'll go, right? Mm-hmm. Instead of having these people constantly revive her attempts to escape the situation, right? And telling her she has every right to, and that these people have no right to detain her, right? And somebody representing themselves as a lawyer, right, saying all of this to her. Like,
yeah, it's dishonest.
Well, if this woman is a lawyer,
well, it's dishonest
an absolute.
She is a lawyer because she's.
It's an abuse of authority of her standing. It's an abuse of her standing, of her status and her authority, right? And you know, like if she is a lawyer, one would hope that as a lawyer who is also a bystander, she would feel that she is subject to a duty of care as well as these officers here. Right? And that she should be expected to do everything in her power to ensure that nobody is harmed in this interaction. And she's done the exact opposite.
Yep. And I don't think this girl's going to learn much about, like, if you have everyone supporting you despite the fact that you obviously and clearly did something illegal and wrong, then you're going to, I don't think you're likely to learn that what you did was that wrong. And the only thing, you know what I mean? Like, she's not getting the message that shoplifting, you don't do that. These are the consequences. And there are people basically telling her that those consequences are things that she should not have to deal with. Like, let's just let all the women out of prison.
The Vancouver police say the charge was up to felony robbery because the girl resisted and employees sustained minor injuries. A representative with Winco sent the following statement to CATU News. Thank you so much for contacting us regarding the video that was published on social media. We appreciate the public's concern over the incident and would like to provide information about what took place, as well as our ongoing investigation. Winco Foods began to investigate immediately after the incident took place. While in our store, the individual concealed items and left the store without paying. The individual was then approached by Winco Foods' loss prevention employees who identified themselves as such. As our employees questioned the individual, she attempted to flee and was detained by Winco's loss prevention. At this point, the individual initiated contact by physically attacking multiple employees. All this occurred immediately before the footage started in the video posted on social media. Winco Foods immediately called the Vancouver Police Department, who responded quickly, and subsequently Vancouver Police arrested the individual for robbery. The video concludes with the officer arriving on site. We understand that the media, our customers, and the general public are interested and concerned about the situation. We are continuing to investigate the situation, cooperating fully with local law enforcement, and are unable to provide any details at this time. As we continue our investigation, we want to thank everyone for allowing us a chance to explain the full details of what happened, including key pieces of information not shown in the video. Thank you. Well, that's a pretty key piece of information. Probably unlike what the article reports, that it says that the Vancouver police upped it for resisting. They probably, I would imagine, upped it for the initial assault. In the after show, we're going to be discussing patriarchy drives women to drink.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I thought it was other things that drove me to drink, like feminism.
No, it's patriarchy. Patriarchy drives women to drink. It puts the drink in their hand and pours it down their throat. Because God forbid we recognize that women make choices about their own lives. That would just cause everyone's brain to explode. All right. Or at least it would cause a parking lot Batman to swoop in. Are you hurting her? You're hurting her. You're hurting her. I thought that would rouse Brian, but he seems to be...
No, I'm around. You guys are doing just fine without my help.
Okay, well, let's...
Put it out, dude! You gotta put the dude in there, or bro, or buck, but not bucko, but bud, or something.
Bud,
yeah.
dude.
You know, my guy just came out of the office after he heard me yelling that, and he's like looking at me like, what the fuck is going on? Because I got my earbuds in, so he can't actually hear the conversation. He just heard me yell.
Okay, Karen.
Are you hurting her?
Karen, yell, make me a pumpkin spice latte.
Karen?
Make me a pumpkin spice latte right now! Skinny! Half cap! Fuck you!
Alright. Okay, good.
There are other parking lots that need me. I have to go. Stay with her. Don't let him hurt her.